at peace compared to what it was just moments before. And you sit in the battlefield, the Driders' corpses on their backs twitching, the ones that haven't been sliced in half. And you just look around and see just peace alongside the destruction. And it's a very discombobulated feeling. Very dichotomous feeling with looking at all this destruction but hearing nothing but quietness. You start to hear birds chirp and things like that. It's just the senses don't align with what is going on. Salty Six, what do you do?
Well,
Ardos is still in the tree, correct?
I believe so.
Kind of silly, but yeah, you're up there, bud.
So
Why would I be so?
do we get the feeling that we're safe? Is that what I got from the last part of your recap?
You don't know. You as an individual probably gathered, Matt, that you're probably safe, but you as Kirill have no idea because the last time you thought you were safe, you suddenly had 2 spider people come up at you.
Back.
Through the
that's
holes.
a good point. That tracks. So I guess Kirill's probably still a little bit on edge since he thought he was safe before and is really cautious right now. And is not going to investigate any of those holes in the future, but he definitely see. I ask Zal if
Is it my turn? Am I on the combat tracker?
No shit. Yeah.
ask
Technically.
Zal
All right,
can
who do I get to
send
attack? Let me.
Shervala over to one of the holes and maybe take a look. Are we still locked?
You are, but I can do that. Change that in a second.
Okay.
Quick second.
mind
Unlock
me.
tokens. They're all unlocked.
Okay.
And Zal is visible.
He's in the bottom
Where
right
you wanna
corner. I see him.
be.
Yeah,
I'll put you down in the corner down there.
It's red 13.
I'll stay as Shrivala right now and just like peek my magical lit up head down the hole and
Ooh.
see if I see anything.
And can Ardos see down the hole while
That's
he's
what she
still
said.
in the tree?
Everybody
No!
can see down the hole as Shrivala gives off. Was it 60 feet of light?
30.
30 feet of light. So you can see down the hole very, very easily. It's nothing magical. It's keeping it dark. It just looks as though it's going down into a series of tunnels that have been built underneath the city of Whitestone. So you can see clearly down to the bottom. They're about 15, 20 feet deep, something like that.
Yeah, and I'll just stay there.
Have we been able to search the all of them yet?
You have not yet, no.
We should get on that, probably.
I think Kira would be a perfect person to search the people.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I like to go and just investigate corpses and not holes.
Both are good.
I mean, you can do both.
If you want, yeah. So you're checking out all the different corpses.
Yeah, also break up me mug to see if there's anything that he can. If he's interested in eating any of the remains of anything that may be left for him to eat.
Mimug is not picky at all, and you put him down in front of the Drider corpse, and he just begins to slowly gnaw on it one bit at a time.
Good me mug.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so I guess want to try and search, considering me mug only from what I know of it, they only eat flesh or prefer flesh.
I mean, yeah,
But we'll eat leather. But
Yeah.
I guess it has eyes from some animal.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about them eating any sort of loot that we may carry, but pick or discover. But that's specifically what I am looking for. What Kirill's looking for.
Just. Sorry, what was it? What was it that you were looking for specifically?
Loot, any sort of loot, any things that
Oh,
anything.
gotcha.
we have got.
Yeah. So you raise the bodies. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I'd like to help.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying I want to help, give him all the help he needs while
You can either
searching.
do advantage or each of you roll.
No, he's going to roll both.
That'll
Yeah, go ahead and roll another one. See if you get a nat 20.
Oh,
so close.
son of a...
Very, very close. Very close. So on the corpses of the Driders, you find longbow and a short sword, both. Find them here. So nothing too crazy about either of them. They tend to be a little bit fancier looking, but nothing too crazy. And so I will open up your inventory.
You just want to dump him in mine.
I'm going to dump them in yours.
He's
Sure.
going to give them to me anyway.
Yeah,
Not wrong.
I'm
You're
just
not
wondering
wrong.
if this warrants a identify. Assuming, kind of reading into this correctly, that doesn't seem to be anything fancy about it.
No, nothing crazy. It does have some runes on it that indicate. Oh crud! Sorry, dude. Accidentally drag something from your. I'm gonna go ahead and delete it. Just added an extra torch to your inventory. You probably don't care about.
Hell yeah.
There is some infernal markings on it that you can read in regards to Orcus.
I'm sorry, is an orcish or orcas?
Sorry, they're in infernal. They were in infernal. They're referring to the demon god Orcus on one, and the other is referring to Lulth, which is another demon god.
Okay. Do you guys want me to? Are they showing up in inventory as
They're in Vondel's inventory.
bundled? Do they look like they need to be looked at magically?
I think it's a good idea if we identify them. That way I know,
wouldn't want to
because
mess it up at this point.
so Orcus, if it has infernal markings on about Orcus, that the horn of Orcus is what Grun Ashtuk's axe was made of.
Yeah.
So it might be a good idea if we know what they are.
All right. So I actually have 2 spell slots, level 1 left, so that will end those. So I'll identify each one of them.
They are non-magical. They just happen to have glyphs in enchanted upon them. With these infernal glyphs referring to Orcus and Lulth, one for each of them.
That's good, at least.
Yep. You do go and look at Jaraxxus and find a spear that is one that did quite a bit of damage to
Not me.
Rocker.
What? How dare he?
And you pick it up and hand it to Vondel. And I imagine probably identify it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have to do that as a second.
You do that as a ritual.
Okay, sure. I'll do it as a ritual.
I believe you can cast it as a ritual spell.
I think you can because
Identify.
you've done it before.
So the thing's pretty wicked looking. It is a long spear. Has two prongs on the end, almost like horns, and then at one end where you would hold it, and then at the other end is it looks like two very long beetle pincers. It's completely black. Looks like it's made of like onyx, incredibly ornate, and kind of jagged points coming off of it, as though if this thing goes in, it's going to be tough to get out. So pretty nasty thing. So you have a spear of certain death that is now in your inventory.
Ooh, holy shit.
Okay. Useful, maybe.
Can
Not sure if it
anybody
lived up to its name. It stabbed Roger and didn't kill him immediately. So certain is in quotes.
Well, and
Well, you might
I'm
have-
assuming it has necromancing qualities. So
It's fun when you damage a creature with an attack using this magic weapon. The target can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn. So it does it does some damage, but you feel like Jaraxxus was powering this thing in some other ways to be able to do what he was capable of doing to Braga.
Gotcha.
That's about it.
Okay. Do you guys think it would be a good idea to take a long rest, perhaps?
these guys are just gold poor or what? I mean, come on. They're looting the city and they got shit for
True,
gold.
it's true.
Yeah, they weren't
broke.
interested in gold. They were like zealots, more or less. Like the concept of what actually. So excuse me, you're correct. I am
I thought
I am
they were
forgetting
slavery.
something. Yeah, there's no fucking gold on them. Simmer down. But with the investigation that you rolled, you do happen to do a second over or third over on Jaraxxus's body, and you do find what appears to be some sort of journal of his. And so, if you want to take some time, you can read through it, or you can just take it with you.
Probably take a peek at that.
So you kind of scroll through a little bit and find some. It's been written more or less since the beginning of even before the beginning of Grun's kind of rise. It tells quite a bit of Jaraxxus himself and how he started from nothing, and he began writing this around probably his teenage years, something like that, and how he began to try and rise through power, and how he had a vision. Like the beginning portion of this journal is pretty bland. I mean, it's a journal that a teenager would keep. It's pretty lame, but as it goes, suddenly there's a page that's written what appears to be by somebody else completely, and it's scrawlings, it's scribbles, but you see the name Lolth, you see the name Orcus, you see these things as really like the only words that you can understand between the scrawlings and the scribbles. And then you turn the page and it's back to its normal font, but it's much more determined. Like the wording isn't so much as like this floaty, lovey-dovey teenager. It is a much more determined individual that has a purpose, and you see the name Lolth appear much more often. And Bottle, if you're reading this, I want you to make a history check for me.
Okay. History. Oh, man, I don't know shit about history.
You don't know shit about Lolth. So you keep reading this, but you notice that Lolth's name appears more and more often. And you see him write that Lolth gave him a vision. And this vision is that he will be the one to free her. And so you kind of understand that this individual is someone who is potentially trapped, maybe, just bound by something or unable to do what this individual wishes to do by some unknown means. But Jaraxxus was absolutely going to be the one that this figure had picked to free them. And so that is where this dedication, this drive was coming from. And so you scroll through the pages and you see part of the vision is that someone would arrive that would be a leader of all. You scroll through the pages and that's when you start seeing writings about Grün. You start recognizing the name Grün, and that this is the one that Jaraxxus has identified as the one that Lolth was telling him about. And you scroll through some more pages, and you begin to see the name Orcus, and make another history check. This time with advantage, since you had the Horn of Orcus.
Ooh, righty.
Natural
advantage.
20.
I'll do
So
things.
you're lucky. You dropped a 5, by the way.
Oh, I know. I saw it.
So that was a hell of a drop there. So as soon as you see the name Orcus, you're like, oh shit. Okay, we're talking demons. We're talking demon prince. We're talking Yeah, I do recognize the name Lolth now that we're talking about it. Like those, like we're talking demon lords, like leaders in the abyss. Like these people hate each other. Like Lolth has despises Orcus. Orcus has no time for Lolth. Like they all have different things that they're about, but none of the demons like each other. They're all chaotic. They all hate. That's it. They just hate. But they hate in different ways. Orcus, hates via war and destruction and strategy and things like that. Lolth is much more spying, much more like a spider, like spinning webs, and you pluck one side of the web and then 15 miles away she can feel it and how its ripples have impacted other things. Like Lolth is very much more of a schemer side of things. So you as soon as you see Orcus and this triggers in your head, you think, okay, so this is a long fucking game that Lolth is playing here if she's talking about Orcus. And Jaraxxus begins to speak to Grün about Orcus. And the concept, as you read through this journal, was that Jaraxxus was priming Grün to be a vessel for Orcus, so that a certain band of adventurers, maybe yourselves, maybe someone else, would kill the vessel while Orcus was inside of it, and therefore significantly weaken, if not kill, Orcus himself. And allow Lolth that opportunity to fill that vacuum in the abyss and become more powerful. And so Jaraxxus was the player the whole time in regards to Grün. And so you read through this journal and you pick up that this could have gotten a lot worse had it not gone the way that it did by the end, because you would have had a vessel of a demon prince on this side of the plane that would have basically been almost as powerful as he would be, if not just Orcus himself, that you would have been playing against. And so you kind of sit back and think and close the book on your lap, and you're like, holy shit, that was a pretty good wish.
Yeah.
Nice.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah. I say all of this to my friends. Epic story, by the way. Just
And
saying.
you all are now more knowledgeable of what the end game was going to look like.
Oof, we almost got there, but would have been intense.
I think after that,
hell of a ability to destroy that horn without the it wasn't just the wish.
yeah, it was a lot. I think after that wonderful bedtime story, we should probably take a long rest in the hut, if at all possible.
Nothing outrests the hut.
Definitely hut time for sure. Nappy nap time.
Hut it up. That's yurt. That's skirt.
Yep.
You hutting it
The
up?
skirt.
Hutton.
I would say
Skirt.
this looks like a nice area that we could blend in with.
We could do it on this little fountain here.
The hut goes one color.
We don't want to be in a fountain.
One color.
The fountain isn't going.
One color.
One color.
So we literally cover up a fountain and they come up and be like, the fuck's this? There ain't no fountain here.
For sure.
It's a creamy beige.
Big
You
flesh
sure you don't want to like
Creamy-
go into the
creamy
blood
beige.
pool over there? That looks pretty nice.
No.
Fine.
I just
Follows guarding that pretty hardcore.
I just know we really need to rest. Cause ooh.
I'm a little sore.
Even
but,
if we
you
get
know,
attacked while we're in the hut, which we can stay in the
little
hut,
sore.
luckily, even if we do, we'll at least get enough rest to recover some spell slots.
For sure.
As all goes back to his gnomish form and joins the party in the hut.
Pure gnome.
Gnomish form. Engage.
I think I literally have everything opened.
So the hut is cast in the corner, or in the wherever the hell you cast it, and it is kind of like this amorphous tan blob that is on the grounds in the square, somewhat matching the color, but not quite the design of the intricate brickwork. But yeah, I mean it's a tan blob that's in the middle of the square, and you all go in and you're quite comfortable.
I'll take first watch. I have the most health.
Barker's gonna take a little nappy nap. You know,
I'll take first watch with him.
he's gonna take a snoozle.
I can always
Oh,
give you
yeah,
a healing word
before
in
we
case you
Do all that. I call Mimug to come back because I don't want him to wander off and get into trouble.
Mima got about halfway through the spider before he's like, "Ah," and he just waddles back on over, like a teapot from Fantasia.
I say, don't worry, buddy. We'll get some later. We'll get some more later.
It's actually more like the beer steins from the animated Beauty and the Beast when they're singing, "Be our guest." That's really kind of how he walks.
Okay.
Kind of bounce from one side of the mug to the other. But so you're all inside, taking first watch. It's not yet dark, like it's not yet dusk, so you're hurting pretty bad. So you need the rest regardless, and the dome will help you. But before everybody can get some shut eye, you suddenly hear a ping. Ping, ping. As in something is like bouncing off of the outside of the dome.
What?
Hmm.
We should be able to
That's
see
good.
outside the dome. No,
Oh, you can see. Yeah, I'll need a perception check from Braga and Zal, please, who are standing watch.
It's Ardos and Zal.
Oh, is it? Sorry.
Yeah,
Whoever's standing watch, do it.
Yeah, I went to bed already.
Perception check.
But if you look around, you can't really see anything like street level with you. Like you're not really sure where in the hell that's coming from, and then you just look up, and the airship is about like 150 feet above you, and they're just dropping shit on your dome just for the hell of it. You see Sprox on top, and she just has this pair of goggles, and she's just dropping little coins down on you, little copper coins down on your like. And so that's
okay. Well, that's
so
fair.
ping,
I
ping,
thought
ping.
about the airship and then completely forgot
Ping,
about
ping.
it. God damn
Oh
it.
God.
I was eating dinner.
I wanna stick my hand
I really
out.
want to sleep.
I wanna stick out of the bubble milk. Thanks, guys.
Zed
She gives
goes
you-
up there and lands on the edge of the ship.
Sprox gives a little gnome fist bump to the little joint of the wing for Zed. And she looks at Zed, and you can still see through her. It's I mean, flavor wise, we'll just say it happens, but she says, "You guys really don't need to be in there. Like everything seems to have been cleared out while we did some passes, so you guys should be okay." Do you?
Oh, nice.
You don't know, man.
She's like, "Yeah, I do.
All
I
right.
do see some big holes down there, but I mean, everything else is pretty well cleared out."
Did she look at how like disgusting Bragger is? He has like 5 health. You know, he's just
She did mention that Brocker looks like death warmed over.
good.
Yeah, she
Guys,
could absolutely tell that from
Right,
150
well, I
feet away,
need
and a
some-
magical
yeah.
dome that she can't see through, other than magical goggles that she has.
Fair.
You guys want to sleep on the ship, or
Fine.
I mean, I'm all for hanging out on that ship. I'll tell you what now.
She
If I must.
she laughs and she's like, "Then I want to see how you do this." And she throws down a 150-foot ladder,
150-foot ladder.
rope ladder, and she just laughs and walks away. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I was gonna say game on.
athletics. Oh.
Yeah.
She wants to torture us.
I fall off that shit
Dexterity,
hard.
athletics. Hey, 13. That's not too bad. Now, when she flies away and you hit trees, then you start falling off. That's what happens.
That's fair.
Hey, that's
turns
okay.
into a giant owl and just lands on the deck?
She's like, "Yeah, that's what I figured would probably be the answer."
Oh, I'll be okay.
Girl, let's see what happens. I'm entertained at this point in time.
All right. It's
You
dexterity.
gotta get better than a 10.
You gonna take my roll that I already?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you're fine. Everybody got it. I mean, yeah, Zal already became a giant eagle, so he doesn't even have to roll.
That's true.
And in fact, he was going to be the Deus Ex Machina that saved someone's ass that rolled below a 10. So that was just going to utilize him to swoop down and grab somebody.
You would have done great though if you had to. We know.
Yeah. But it didn't have to. That's a good thing because everybody rolled well enough. So everybody climbs up. Vondel's huffing a little bit harder than everybody else by the end of it, but he still makes it.
Little late.
And then Sprox is just sitting there and laughs and says, "Okay." Looks over at Brogger and she says, "Hey, you look really rough." Before,
Thanks for noticing.
yeah, can you roll the ladder up? I just want to see if you can do it.
Yeah, probably.
I think that needs a strength check
I would
with
I'd agree.
disadvantage.
Get it. What
You know
the-
what? You know what? I like it. Let's do a disadvantage strength check.
All right. I was gonna do 2d20s since, but I have a +5 modifier.
Look at the bottom.
here
You can
we
click
go.
disadvantage.
I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it
Give
to
me
you.
the lowest. All right,
Oh.
4 plus 5, 9. So it's still a 9.
9 it is. It takes you the better part of 45 minutes to roll that much, and you are 21 points of damage away from death.
Yeah. well,
that reduced you down actually from what you were before. I think you were like what 114 was your life before? Is that what it
yeah,
was?
somewhere around there.
Something like that. And then the magic behind the spear, the Jiraxis just like sucked your actual life away from you.
No, that didn't happen.
It did. I saw it.
Think through.
We may need to go back and check the tape because I did not write down what your actual life was before.
I think it was
Yeah, I
one.
don't remember.
I think it was 121.
Props. I think it was around 120. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
think I had like 120. yeah.
But you haven't had a long rest yet, so you still look like you're at 77 of 98. By the way,
Cool.
I probably should have killed you from that, by the way.
Hey,
but,
you could have done anything that you wanted. to.
rules lawyering, I let you live.
I mean, I still had
I probably should've killed
my
you.
orcish nature. It would have, if I hit 0, I'd be back at 1. So, you'd have to hit me one more time.
No,
The
you
magic
didn't. You
nature of
got-
the attack is if you hit 0, you straight up die.
That's just kind of cool.
So-
A little
maybe
overkill,
maybe
right?
I fudged the rules a little bit to let you live
All
for
right.
that reason. I don't know, but either way, you're at 98 hit points, so you're.
Yeah, I was
you're,
ready for it.
You're a
Just
weak pansy on
remember.
the team right now.
Yeah, that's cruel.
And this was
Yeah.
after you gave up the one thing.
Yeah, I took all that
Right.
damage for you guys. That's what I did. I'm a
Sure did.
damage taker. So.
Yep. Yep,
You're
he's a
welcome.
taker. He's not a giver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you remember because unless you want to listen to like around that time frame, I usually don't put the combat tracker on there. I just put the screen on.
Oh,
You're
really?
good, bud.
Okay. I'll check it out. We're good. I mean, are we ever going to see Brogger again? Let's be real. He's probably gonna die
Yeah.
at some point in time.
There
on
are
screen.
some of them
Heck
where I do have it
yeah.
up. I just recently I found it a lot easier to have the entire map up rather than the combat tracker and everything else.
He's a bruiser, baby.
That's fair. That is fair.
I mean, it's not
So-
like anyone watches it, so it doesn't really matter, I guess.
I check it out sometimes. I like a bit of a recap to understand what happens.
Yeah, I
just to
saw
make
your
sure.
grandma in town. She said she was impressed. So
Dick.
she's been watching it, bud.
My grandmas are
Oh,
dead,
it's like
asshole.
Oh, that's your mom. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you feel bad now, don't you?
So, she looks pretty old.
So,
Ooh, since
on
we're on
the
the
ship now.
ship, I want to
45
ask.
minutes later. What have you been doing for the 45 minutes later while Brogger's broken ass?
I was talking to Sprox.
Yeah, what y'all been doing?
I wanted to talk to Sprox.
Food.
Can you hear me? Is my mic on?
I can.
Okay.
I can. Yes.
I didn't know because I'm not showing up green on my thing.
No problem.
I want to talk to Sprox about this small gold disc, this plated disc I found.
A small gold-plated disc off of the
Goliath?
off of the Goliath.
Yeah.
So she takes a look at it. This is interesting. All right, I saw something similar to this in Janine. But this looks a little bit more advanced. Where did you say you found this on a Goliath? Like, I guess that makes sense for the size, but
Yes, it was a
actually-
automaton Goliath where Dr. Boom was inside driving him.
like I was inside driving him. That's nuts. Okay. A little bit different then, but it looks like this was more of a. It seems like it would like keep it from thinking for itself. Like it was more of like a what's the word? Like kind of a dampener of what it was trying to think and feel and do. So yeah, this Dr. Boom guy doesn't sound very fun.
He's dead.
Yeah, we killed him.
Hey, how'd you do that?
He fell from a tree.
Boom.
A little bit of a moonbeam.
A moonbeam. That's a little more nature-y than I prefer, but that's all right.
Technically, he was killed by a bolt from crossbow, wasn't he? No.
No.
Nope, it was a moonbeam. It melted him. You
that was
teleported
the-
him to the very tip top of the tree, and before he
Oh,
had a
yeah.
chance to fall out of it, he was roasted by a moon.
Yeah, you got totally roasted.
He got shot a couple of times, but it didn't kill him. Yeah,
Correct.
that was the moon.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
He was 100% gonna fall from that tree and die.
not
Oh,
quite dead yet.
and we robbed you of that, and we're not sorry.
No, absolutely.
So,
well,
so you
sure,
recount the tale of how Dr. Boom met his demise, and she's like, that's a better story than it started out. So I'm glad to hear that. But she's like, but looking at this, like, I mean, this Dr. Boom guy was pretty fucked up, but I mean, it clearly he knows what he's working with from the Warforged side of things. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more of these things out there.
More Warforges?
Yeah,
Hmm.
just like you don't get this kind of craftsmanship and this kind of like, I don't know. It's just, it seems to me that there was probably a trial and error to get to this point, and I don't think you'd be able to do that on one creature.
Got it.
Interesting. So there's
Just a thought, just a hunch.
is it
Well,
worth
if you
any
round one,
money?
I don't think anyone's going to know what the hell it is.
Cool.
It's made of gold, though, right?
I mean, it's gold plated,
Could we?
but made of actual gold.
could we
I mean, you probably
use
got
it?
more in your pocket than this thing's probably
I mean,
worth.
Gilmore might like weird shit, you know.
Could we use it for
We'll see what
anything,
he
or would
does.
you find more use in it, Sprox?
We'll see what he can do with it.
If I had another Warforged here, I could probably find use for it. But other than that, I'm not really sure what this kind of dampener would be used for.
Hmm.
But I could probably use it. I could probably find a use for it.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we give it to Sprox?
Yeah,
We weren't
I
doing anything
mean,
with it.
Yeah.
it's no use to us.
If
So
we find other Warforged, we know who would be interested in playing with all the parts.
mhm. Another little pet project for Sproxy.
Yeah, and I mean, since with the blessing of the team, I look at Sprox and said, "Hey, it's yours. You know, you guys have helped us out a ton, and you might as well you'll have more use for it than we will."
Well, thanks. I'm kind of feeling bad that I blew Janine's head up now because I might have been able to figure out what the hell this thing could be used for.
Hey, it's
I'm
okay.
confident you can make another Janine in a pinch.
You know what they say. Hindsight's 20/20.
I
Right.
mean,
So-
I don't think I'm able to create something with the soul, nor would I want to. That sounds like a lot of responsibility. But I'll figure something out to do with this. Appreciate it.
Never in doubt. I'm gonna go talk to Euler, see how he knew where the fuck we were, and give him a little pat on the back. For the,
Yeah. So you head on down to the old powder room, and you see you learn he's cleaning things up. He's a little bit covered in soot. Kind of got those black powder streaks across his snout and his hands, but he sees you and he gives you a big toothy hippo grin and says, "Hey, it looks like he gave you a little bit of help back there."
Ardos cloyly conjures a flame in his hand from Flame Bolt. Doesn't throw it or anything. It's like, need any help up here cleaning up? Give him a wink.
Euler looks at you and he says, "I know you're a crazy son of a bitch, but I'm not really interested in that kind of help. Thank you very much."
After
just-
our day, you have no fucking idea.
It's like I can imagine. I saw the spider people that we shot, so I can only imagine what you've been dealing with today.
Couldn't have done it without you, man.
I couldn't let you do it without me.
Good shooting.
Hippo man.
I cast Mage Hand and give him a high five with my Mage
Yeah.
Hand.
He puts up his big old hippo paw, his three fingered paw, and just high fives the mage hand.
Sweet. I can knock that off of a spell that I've never used, I think.
I think you used mage hand once before.
I can't.
No, it was Ben. Ben used Mage
I've used it a
Hand.
couple
Oh, that's
times.
right. Ben used mage hand. Yeah, not
Or
Ben,
Ardos.
not Kiro.
Ardos used Mage
Right,
Hand.
Ardos did. That's right. It's a helpful spell. Keep that in mind. It's a helpful spell.
Yeah, as
What?
I was watching Vox Machina, I was like, oh yeah, I have that.
I have that shit.
Scandalous hand.
Useful in so many different ways. Expression.
For good and
State.
bad.
Well,
Bedroom sports, yeah, all that.
So many possibilities.
so as you're sitting here chatting and catching up, Van Cleef comes downstairs and claps y'all on the back and says, "So it seems like we made pretty good time and showed up right in the nick of time for y'all."
Oh, we really appreciate it. What, who sent you?
Yeah. How'd you find us?
Well, let's just say we have a mutual friend who tends to the arcane arts.
Oh, he's a rambunctious one, isn't he?
He is. And probably not who you're thinking of. We've been around some time and I don't know, we've spent some time in Wildmount, and one of our favorite people is a guy named Pumont. I don't know if you've heard of him, but
Oh,
Puma.
Oh, I love Puma!
He's got his retriever.
Oh,
Yeah.
How is Pumont these days? Or Pumots?
I bet you haven't met the man himself, but I know that you have met some of his clones, if you will. But yeah.
Never the prime.
Yep. He's been keeping an eye on y'all, and so he told us that you might need some help. So
They were right.
How's that cave going up there?
not bad. He has not yet completely unearthed everything, but he's darn close, and he has some ideas on what to do with the basically the arcane forge that he's found. Like, he has some ideas.
I'll bet he does.
Yeah. Gentle giant, that guy. But yeah, I'm glad we were able to make it here in time and help out at what seemed like the most opportune time.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, good old Puma.
You really put the wind in our sails. Back
he
in
still-
our sails.
Hopefully Puma doesn't remember and isn't still mad at me.
Time heals all wounds for whatever it was.
Okay.
Time heals all wounds.
So I remember.
Shut up. Don't need to bring it up.
Try to steal some shit.
No, I was trying to help.
Slash steal some shit.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, it was early, and he had magic shit, right?
Sure.
We had to.
yeah,
Someone had
it
to
was-
try. Okay.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
That
you're
was-
the
that was-
fucking cleric or whatever.
That was borderline murder hobo days.
Yeah.
That really
Like,
was.
how's this campaign gonna go?
Murder hobo days. I love it. Oh man, we're glad you're here. We
Wow.
we sure took down some pretty big baddies, but we still got two left. Did you guys see anything pointing in a direction where we might need to go?
No. It's pretty well quiet. It seems like all of the oddities that would have been from the Underdark have either fled or gone into hiding. So, I mean, as we made a couple loops around the city, no mind flayers, not seeing any more goblins. The orcs, I didn't see any orcs, actually. Come to think of it. The drow are all hiding. Or they're gone. Duergar, I didn't see any Duergar at all. They they pretty much disappeared too. I haven't seen or heard about them in a while. Yeah, it was pretty much all gone at this point in time. I think you all are pretty safe.
So what happened here? Like after we left, I guess.
Well, from what I've understood, I haven't been here. From what I
fair.
understood, whatever happened, there was just chaos erupted at the castle. And all the different factions that were allied suddenly started fighting and turning on each other, and then just mass chaos. And things started bleeding over into the city itself. And so that's where all this violence came from. Was it spread out. Whereas in the Underdark, it would have gone to its own dark corners, or they never would have intersected in the first place. But
I get
here
it.
they all were.
I have an idea.
Go for it.
This is just me taking a guess from everything that I've learned in the last couple 20 minutes, right? The two different runes that were on those weapons, right? Because we had one for Orcus and one for Lauf.
Lolth, yep.
Lolth, Laulf. I have it there. Lolth.
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 Yep.
Hang on, I gotta change it. Lolth. Lolth.
That's right. Get them notes right, bitch.
I have to, okay? It's a personal thing. Anyway, so my assumption is, and this is just me assuming, that those weapons were imbued with the power of, like, for instance, Orcus. All those graphs that were on there were powered by the axe, is my best guess. At least on the Orcus side. And that they were following, I guess, to a tune, under, I'm not saying it's mind control, but something along those lines, following Draxus and Grune. And then once the axe was destroyed, it all just went to hell because he lost control of everybody. Or they lost their common purpose.
Could be.
Because they're not magical, it's just the runes, I'm assuming, have played some role. I mean, that's just my thought, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Good speculation, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anyone left of the
In the
folks
castle.
that were in the castle? Do we know that?
So, Percy was still recovering for a while.
Yeah.
But he was moved into a more secure location from what I understand. I don't know the Gerolos that well, but from what I understand, he was moved to a more secure location. Vex is with him. She's not about to leave him again. So, yeah. I think everybody, at least in the Gerolo clan, is pretty well safe. But I think the castle was pretty well cleared out, as that was the biggest target as things came down the mountain. They made a pretty quick exit out of there and cleared it out.
What about in the giant castle over there, the Underdark one? Was there anything left in there?
I am not going near that thing.
Fair enough.
Fair. You and I'll want to go check it out? Let's all go check it out together after I heal.
Okay, so at least know that the city in this castle is safe, so that's good. I guess that's would be our next path to see if we can find Grune and oh god, what was his name? The Mind Flayer.
Cars.
Cars.
Those are the two dangling chads from
Well,
this that you have.
I mean,
Yeah.
we don't really know that Karj is like somebody we have to pursue, though, right?
Yeah.
At this point, no, but we have to
He
assume.
was going back
Right.
back to the Underdark once he was.
Which, you know,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. You don't know.
Much
You
cooler
do.
than being
How-
here, bro.
I guess my question is, we want to rest if we can. Can you get us as close as you're willing to go to that castle?
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Come on, you love us. I got some
right.
gold.
I'm not landing anywhere near that shit. But
Well, just
we
let
can
me
do
see a
drive
tree.
by. We can do a drive by.
We've done it before. We'll see what happens.
He just walks out.
Got us a
Head
ride,
sinks down a
boys.
little bit. His head sinks down. He walks out.
Got plans now.
I think the average fare that we usually gave was what, 300 or 400 gold?
He has not charged you in a while. You recognize that you are kind of part of the family now.
Oh, I get it. I know that we're part of the family, but I think, family shares,
That's fair. That's
and
fair.
I think that
He probably wouldn't accept 300 gold from you. He'd probably accept 300 gold from you, but he probably wouldn't at the same time, if that makes sense.
oh no, I completely understand. I think that what I'll do is I have 7,026 gold right now. I'm going to go ahead and shake out 300, put in a little pouch, and I'm going to set it on his desk.
That's very kind of you. Very kind of you.
And with a little note that says, I knew you wouldn't take, I'm putting in one of his drawers. I knew you wouldn't take this if I handed it to you directly, but family is family, and we appreciate everything you've done for us.
Family.
Yeah.
Feel
He's
like
family.
This got up personal.
What's his name again?
Right.
Van Cleef?
That's-
Just kidding.
You hurt.
Edwin Van Cleef. Captain to you all. But, so, we're about an hour in to this section.
Mhm.
You all feel about 5 minutes after Van Cleef walks away and shuts the door, and you're standing around in the powder room, you feel the hum of the broomstone light up, and you feel the motion of the airship as it begins to take off and turn around and head towards the mountains. This is the last full-blown campaign session of the Salty Six.
Whew.
We can always get back into it, and it's like one-shots and things like that come back down the road. But as you clearly are trying to start another adventure, I'm going to take a pause. I want to do something. I'm not sure if everybody wants to, but I thought it would be kind of fun. And my apologies for not giving any sort of heads up on this beforehand. So,
Love it. I already love whatever it is.
as the ship begins to take off, and you head towards the next adventure, I kind of want to get each one of you individually to tell the group what happens with your character. You don't have to talk like, and this person does this and this and this and then they die. Don't do that. But just like, what are the most important story beats of your character's life over the course of the next 5 years or so? So I'm if you all are down for that, like I said, there was no prep for this. If you all are down for that, I'd like to open the floor up to each of you individually to talk about your character that you spent the last 5 years of your life with,
Oh, man. It's like,
and say where you see your character being. Like, what are they doing? Like, what do they do with their life? It doesn't have to be 5 years, 10 years. It's a fucking bullshit interview question in the first place. But like what do you do? What do you do? What have you done? So
So,
I'm gonna go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I was. I'll do it this way. think about like the wavies, like going to in the future, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like a cutaway scene.
Mm-hmm.
And you just see, Gnomish Zal. He's, tired, kind of beat up from all of the fighting that we've done over the last years. Walking through an old cherry orchard. And it's a cherry orchard that he grew up in. And that was kind of ravaged by demons and the nasty things that he's been fighting over the last few years. Coming home, finally feeling a little peace for the work that he's done with the friends that he's made. It's a strange group that he had been adventuring with. And he as he's like walking through down these rows of cherry trees, at the end he sees this giant dragonborn drinking out of steins, telling these stories about killing demons in this strange, crazy place, all around who we now know as Maya, right?
Mhm.
Oh, I just thought you had a type, and this was here.
She's telling stories with all of the gnomish people around her. Everyone's joking, cheering, getting excited. And unbeknownst to Zal, she had been waiting for him at the cherry orchard of his family. Kind of, spend some time there. And as they're telling stories back and forth of their adventures, and one's had together and one's not had together, start thinking back on all these strange totems that Zal found over the last adventures, and just keeps gnawing at the back of his mind. He's like, I know my friends have a couple of them, but the old faith tells me that there's probably one more out there. So next few years are him and Maya adventuring to find the last final wind or air totem that's out there. And along the way, smashing down strange rumors of demons that are popping up in hot spots just because of all the activity that happened in Whitestone. But ultimately that's kind of where their paths lead them over the years. More totem searching and always fighting whatever nasty demon dark stuff that may pop up throughout their area.
Very good. Very good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Who? Anybody want to go next?
Braggers is pretty simple. So Braggers not a complicated dude. So he likes to fight, likes to drink, but he's also like kind of a old soldier, So because orcs or half orcs like they age faster than humans. So he's like 20. He was like 26 when we started this whole thing. So he's like, pushing 31, 32 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
So,
my mic crapped out.
middle-aged.
No problem, man.
So he's middle-aged orc. He decides to go home, or at least find at least his mom and dad, who he left because they told him to go explore the world. Found his tribe, and mostly just said told him his story, and then sort of left off on his own. Probably did some, I don't know, work as a bodyguard or some sort of guide or something for a while, and then probably settles in like a homestead or a farmstead, and maybe has horses, and that's it. Lives a good life. Probably finds a chick, makes a couple kids, bangs one out, and bing bang done. So
Awesome.
would help out a buddy if they came calling, though. That's for sure.
Awesome. Anybody else want to chat?
Well, I guess I can say Vondel's story.
Jump on in, man.
Man, this is tough. I know that where he sits is he can, I mean, everyone knows dwarves live for 200, 300 years. So he's still young at his age, and he goes home to his family, and is able to go home and hang his hat high and hang it proud because he was able to help with it. And he continues to help even when he goes home, because he's not, I mean, yes, he is kind of a little bit greedy, and we all know this. He loves to keep things. But the biggest thing he does when he gets home is he shares all of what he's gotten with his family to make sure that everyone his money's added into the hoard that they all collect, and make sure that they can continue to give back and follow the path of his normal righteousness and his love for his deities, and making sure that he follows true with his paladin, even though his paladin nature, even though he's always ready for a battle, he's ready to rest. He's ready to go back to what he knows best, which is farming and spending time working with the land, working with the stone, forging anything he can possibly forge, and always checking back with his friends if he can, and then making trips to the Arcane Forge to talk to Pumont's clones to get forging tips and just learn and continue to grow. He doesn't really look at getting married knowing the kind of lifestyle that he's had. Yes, he would consider it, but he still is young in dwarven age before he decides what he wants to do after that. Good old
Right.
Vondel.
Good old Vondel. Matt's having issues with his headset, but
Ardos can go.
go for it, man.
Ardos is going to stay in Whitestone. Somebody needs to rebuild this place. And Ardos knows enough history and everything, and he's here to get it back on its feet. He doesn't want to go back to his family, his noble family, the castles, and he's tired of that, but he wants to stay here in Whitestone. He likes it here. He likes the mountains, and he opens up a magical like a kind of a sorcerer warlock friendly library, and uses the thing and starts to rebuild. He runs for tries to maybe be a local prefecture around here and builds it back up. He's the only tiefling around, so he's pretty. People know him. Not a whole lot of them in this area. So.
All right. Very cool.
Anybody wants to come by Ardos's book and magic shop, you're more than welcome to. In Whitestone.
Very
2.0.
nice.
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Awesome.
All right. How about you, man? You're up.
All right, so kind of plays out like this, like the ending credits of a movie where you see little still shots of where they go in the future, and you see Kirill most of the time in taverns, shaking his tambourine, sometimes passed out on a tavern table. Sometimes you see him in jail, and sometimes you see him, you know, pulling little grifts here and there, like trying to make money. As he's like, I bet you I can turn into a giant crocodile, um, and swindles people out of money using the spells that he's learned along the way. And Mimog becomes one of his best friends. Obviously, as the bard loves to drink. Um, and yeah, he lives a pretty solitary life. With He never gets married, but he was he was born a Rolling Stone, so he continues on with that. Um,
You
and
can
is always
stop
up
by
for new
my
adventures.
you can stop by my farm anytime, bud.
So yeah, he often thinks of the companions that he's had, and he's never been through anything like that before in any of his travels, where campaigners never stuck around with a group of people that long. So he definitely visits his friends that he made along the way.
Is he a regular stopover in Whitestone at the local tavern, and Ardos knows when he is gonna arrive?
He'll if he'll go to he goes from city to city. When one city's had a little bit too much of him, he knows when it's time to leave and go, to the next spot. And just kind of, has a circuit of towns that he visits, but it is based off of locations of where his friends are.
Well, there's always a bunk in the back of the castle bookshop.
And he's always got a tiny hut with him wherever he goes and decides that he spends the night.
Naturally.
It's turned into a habit that every time he sleeps, he has to cast that spell.
Makes sense.
Fair.
That's fair.
That is fair. Well, I know it is. It's somewhat early in our session. We went late last week, but I could see this going yet into multiple other sessions if we kept on keeping on. The team does fly to the castle, and you do convince Van Cleef to get a little bit closer than he's comfortable, but it's barren. It's barren. The only reason he's willing to is he doesn't see any movement. And so you hover for a bit, jump down, look around. Nothing really there. Yeah, persuasion. Yeah, 19 persuasion check. So you leave. And you begin to head back. Van Cleef makes a decision to pull up and start heading out. And you fly over the city of Whitestone. And you stand on the bow of the airship. You're sailing high over the grasslands ahead of you, and the city of Whitestone's reducing the distance as it rides on the horizon, reducing in size behind you as you fly towards Amon. You have the feeling of the wind blowing on your face as you watch the trees and the deer, the various animals pass beneath your ship, and you realize the feeling will never grow old. It's an unbelievable number of things have happened to this small band of random strangers that group together because of one fateful combination of knowing a single dwarf back in the day who needed some help in a mine. And all these things happen from that single point. And despite the impact that you all have had on the continent of Tal'Dorei itself, and realistically the entirety of the Exandrian, the planet of Exandria. The Salty Six are still relatively unknown. Stories have yet to be woven. Songs have yet to be sung. Time passes. Adventurers age. Groups disband. Friendships sometimes fade. Now, stories remain. Stories grow. They develop. Legends are born. Legends thrive. Well, at the moment, this band of adventurers are spoken of only by a small number of people, only those lucky enough to have passed by them or been in their company. You remember a friendly salesman with a penchant for unique pets such as mimic mugs. You have a large furbolg arcanist. You have an old monk buried in their books. You have a hippo man covered in gunpowder and soot. That's where the stories start. A game of telephone carries across lands to cities far and wide to other countries until the entire globe's heard the name, the stories, and the legends. But that's not yet come to pass. Right now, in the present, you have the wind on your face. You have the setting sun. And you have your lifelong friends by your side. Those legends have not yet been born into the world, but those are stories for the future. For now, though, all that matters is what's right in front of you. And that's where we're going to end the story of the Salty Six.
The Tankard Vale?
Whew.
Oh,
Kirill never does find out what the fuck that tattoo on his neck means, though.
There are
maybe
stories to tell,
someday.
one-shots to be had. There are enough dangling chads in this campaign that there's plenty of other opportunities to revisit these guys.
True story.
Sure.
B-Dog.
Actually,
Holy
does Kirill
shit, man.
forget about
Nice.
the tattoo completely? Like, he just kind
I
of...
hope he does.
It's like hell with it.
He'd
He
forgot.
doesn't see it all the time. So it's on his
Even
neck.
just somebody just
Wait.
comes up and tousles his hair, and he's like, "Well, fuck! I have that tattoo on the back of my neck. What the fuck is that thing?"
Brugger was at 120, by the way.
One.
Ooh.
Ooh, I was pretty close. I said 121.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Well,
I'll
you know.
adjust that. You know what?
It's
Everybody.
okay.
You know what? Everybody gets a long rest. What can I say?
Oh.
Just don't say I never gave you
Long
nothing.
rest.
That does seem fair.
Aw.
Don't say I never gave you nothing.
Right. Absolutely.
Dude, you know how much we're gonna fucking miss the bag of holding in the next campaign? Like, you guys, like, how the...
I mean, you can still carry like 200 pounds. So, and plus at
Right.
the beginning of our last campaign, we didn't have a bunch of shit.
The fact that it became available to us pretty early was fucking clutch.
Well,
That's
yeah.
fair.
And who knows what our new characters might gain from our old characters.
Nothing.
Hey, hey.
Nothing.
All right.
Vondel ain't giving shit up. I'm letting you know
The only
right
thing that
now.
they're gaining from our other characters is the fact that we probably won't fuck up our builds as much this time.
The only thing Vondel will take from his inventory
Come on now.
is
I
the
made
Totem
the
of Graal
squishiest-
and give it back to
I made the
Zal if he wants it.
squishiest Warlock,
It's the only thing.
Nope.
squishiest
Safe in
pet
your
warlock
hands.
ever.
Everything else,
the one-
shit's mine.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is that I thought you would mention, Vondel, is your mechanical dragon.
Oh no, I
pet.
still have my mechanical red dragon, by the way,
I know
with
you
a
do.
little
I know
button on
you
his
do.
ass.
I know.
Well, the only thing I forgot
What
about
it
him.
is?
Like I said, dangling chads, man. Dangling
He's my
chads.
boy.
That's all I'm saying.
He's my boy. I even have my mini for him too.
That's awesome. That's legit. So good.
Yeah, that's how much I love my mini pet dragon.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I didn't have to feed him because he's a robot.
Do we still have the elephant?
No, I sold it.
Yeah, Ben sold it.
Oh.
Yep.
Dumb.
So crazy.
Sold it for the staff that I never actually got to use.
You
Mhm.
used it once or twice.
No, I
Used it once or
tried to
twice.
hit it and I missed, and I didn't get to use the
true.
necrotic.
Well, you did
feature.
use it, but you failed to
Yeah,
hit
you
with it.
sucked.
You
I was
swung
about to
it.
say.
But I only
Hey,
actually
and
made
then-
one swing the whole time with it.
And then you became a monkey.
Yeah,
that
but isn't
climbed
one
fucking
time
trees.
a use? Just because you sucked with it doesn't mean it wasn't used.
I never got to use the charges into it. That sucks.
Yeah, because you couldn't hit with it.
Well, I could. I had 19 strength, but I happened to roll like a 4.
I mean, performance anxiety. It happens to the best of us.
I thought about hitting the goblin in the tree with me.
Yeah, a little monkey in a tree.
And then I realized I just want to blow him open with a fucking Eldritch Blast and call it a day. But that was the last Eldritch Blast I used. That was it. No, it wasn't. I hit the drow.
It will never die.
It never does.
You know, Miko never
No,
came
it's
back. I was
No,
hoping
Miko.
he would.
But do you think Miko was going to come back as like a Terminator style character?
Yeah,
Like,
we had the Necromancer in play. I was
Ja,
always
ja, ja,
wondering
ja.
if the Necromancer was ever gonna like make another appearance. You know,
What happened to the Necromancer?
because we totally
disappear,
like
man.
bailed on like half the shit we could have done in that one town we went. In, like the very first like
yeah, man.
major session. So
Jorn Village.
Mm.
Amon
Good old
Koss.
Jorn Village.
Amon Koss.
He's dead.
That's the name.
Amon Koss is dead. That bitch is dead.
Yeah,
dude.
he
You
dead.
killed him.
100% dead. We
You did
killed
kill
him.
Well, I mean, we didn't.
You killed him. But that was like the first, or it should have been the first live session. Remember?
I
Yeah,
remember.
Sister Goreli, all that jazz. Like,
Yeah, we should have
Yeah.
killed him to begin with, but for some reason we let him live. And then he
Well,
cropped
we
up at the
took
house,
away from
Right.
that little random ass house with a big hill in front
Yeah,
of it.
the house,
And then he
that's
cropped
right.
up in the little like cave or whatever you call it as well.
And the dragon that underneath
Yeah,
his
but
house.
that little
we would have to
house, there
fucking-
was like,
Fucking zombies everywhere. If you guys
and a
don't-
zombie dragon. Don't forget the zombie dragon.
yeah, like
come on, that was
Yeah, we
that was
missed
good.
a few
That was
good
a good
fights.
use of
I mean, that's
the
all
points.
Braga is saying is there were a few fights that could have been better because we didn't fight.
That's the man who almost got killed in the last one.
or this campaign could have ended 4 years ago. So yeah,
That's very true.
Yeah.
We could have. We could have all been
We'd
dead.
be like on our third campaign by now.
We're our third characters.
Yeah, same campaign.
Hey,
third
Ardos
character.
almost went the dust a couple times.
I mean, we would have had Vondel, then Rondel, and at some point Fondel. So
No Uncle Fondle?
Here comes Gondel.
Vondel is the cousin no one wants because he's the creepy one of the Vondel clan. Okay,
Uncle
Uncle.
Old Gondel.
Vondel's the creepy
Doing that
uncle.
fondle.
Gondel
good.
likes sandwiches, oddly enough.
So next time we play, we'll be in person in.
Not true. Not true.
No, we have to have a
Session
session on
zero.
session zeros on the
Session
computer.
zero's going. So we're gonna have to roll some characters. So if we want,
Yeah.
I mean, we got time if you want to do that tonight. But I figured that'd kind of be that's kind of cold for the Salty Six doing that the same night that we end.
I mean, no, it's not.
Yeah, that is a little.
Cold blood.
no,
Cold blooded.
I mean, might as
Let's
well.
give
I
some
mean,
time. But I'm down for whatever. But so what the plan is we're gonna roll some characters, and then we're gonna get session zeros set up, zeros plural, and then we'll be meeting in person.
Nice.
Love it. B-Dog, like,
Yeah.
the commitment to DM an online
And it
campaign
continues.
for years. Like, I just have to take a little bit and thank you for that. Like,
Yeah.
taking us
Yeah,
along,
100%.
basically our
Good
first
times.
campaign. Like, it's been awesome. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good work.
And also to be
Thank you.
willing to do it.
again for a new campaign. I mean, that's thank you for all of your dedication and personal sacrifice and everything that you've done. You've set aside time for us, and obviously this takes a lot of planning for you, a lot more than it does for us. So that's not lost on me. I don't think it's lost on any of us. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, you have to put up with us assholes. That's quite
Now
the
we
chore.
get to do it all over again with totally new people.
I know.
If
I
we
can't
get
kill
a,
anyone in this campaign.
I
So,
gave you the
know,
option.
Do we
I'm
know if
super excited
Hero
for the next
Forge-
campaign.
So,
yeah, no.
Super excited for the next campaign. Like,
Have-
no, it's been phenomenal. Like, it's my first campaign too. Like, I never did this like ever. So, like, it's been phenomenal. It's been a lot of fun. and I'm looking forward to campaign 2. I appreciate you all sticking with me with some bad story beats along the way and all that good jazz. It's been a ride. It's been a ride, and I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
No bad
There
story
was
beats.
bad story beats.
None.
And we didn't see it.
No
So-
bad
No.
beats detected at all.
Yeah, we didn't see it. It was
I
good.
appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have you tried to do the? Have you ever tried to move a Hero Forge digital character over?
I have not. No.
How does this Hero Forge thing work? Should I make my guy on Hero Forge?
You can. I think you could buy the virtual version for like what, $8, something like that.
Yeah, it's 3D digital.
Yeah.
Is what it is. And so I just clicked on it because I wanted to check. But they have different one. I'll say this. Fantasy Grounds is not on their supported 3D digitals. So they have
Fantasy Grounds Unity is?
they have Tailspire, Harpy, Dungeon Alchemist, Berserker
Dungeon
Games
Alchemist is-
Tabletop Simulator.
Okay, so I knew Dungeon Alchemist. I used that for some of my maps. I'm going to get into that a little bit more as we go. Like I'm actually going to be building some maps on that to take with me to Colorado. So yeah, so I don't understand how. I'll look into more how it works, but like why you would have a token. Dungeon Alchemist is a map creator. That's it.
Correct.
It's not a. It's not like like what Fantasy Grounds is.
Right, and so you can take your character and then put it into that, and then you can upload it. Like you would put it in on the map. So when you upload it to Fantasy Grounds, I think it takes. Is my best guess.
But I don't think it becomes a token that you can move around. It's just a static thing that's in the ground, like the foreground. So like you could make Vondel and put him in a tavern, and I could like upload him to me, and I could put him in a tavern. He'd just be a background character. That's
Gotcha.
what I think it is.
Okay, then I'll nerd out and I'll get my good camera out, take a picture of them, and digitally upload them.
Hell yeah. I mean that's what Zal's token is his picture of his character from Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
It'll be all right.
I just figured I would ask.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, yeah, shoot a picture, like shoot it over to me. I can make the token. But yeah, I think since it's just making a map, I think it's literally just like because you can do like 3D maps with Dungeon Alchemist. I don't know why we'd ever use that or need that, but you would just put that token in there and be able to move around and see it. But it's more of like a nice to have rather than a need to have type thing.
Right.
But you do need to get a token for the actual in person thing, and they apparently take a month to make. So keep that in mind.
No, I already ordered mine. That's what I was asking.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
How did you order yours? You haven't figured out your character yet.
Yes, I have.
Have you rolled it?
Just because I haven't rolled it doesn't mean I don't know what my character is.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily putting the cart before the horse here. And
Oh, well, depends
they
on.
they don't have anything to do with each other.
No.
So, but yeah. So you got time.
2 questions. First of all,
Yeah.
is Chappie out? I mean,
No,
I
he's
know-
not.
He's got a baby coming. He ain't gonna be here. I'm
He
not
ain't
playing
doing
on Chip.
nothing.
No.
I haven't talked to him since I bought him the player's handbook 2 years ago for Secret Santa, and he hasn't said shit about it. So I've kind of given up on Chappie.
Gotcha. And then second, I know that we had discussed a battle royale. You guys want to set a time and date to do that?
Yeah, that would be like pretty low DM work right there, right?
It would be. I would just let you all we'd roll for initiative and just let you all beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, but should we
There doesn't have
do
to
it like
be any
tournament
story.
style?
Or you could have fun with it.
Yeah,
You
like
could,
a tournament.
you
would
could
be
have like
awesome.
other like people coming in to attack us. Like
Yeah,
Like
the airship comes in and just nukes everyone, and then sees what's left standing, and then flies off. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
Not
I've
just the
dealt with
bad
these
guys.
cannons a little bit. They're not fun. They suck.
Yep.
All I know is Vondo will be fine because I I would just poof out that range, be like, I'm gone. Bonus action. Peace out.
Misty Step. I'm out.
Yeah, you can do that, and you come right back with a vortex warp.
Well, obviously, we would have to like make some rules around, like might have to switch out some spells because you can't just you're about to die and fucking all of a sudden.
I think it would be. I like the critical role method of suddenly you're warped into a demonic arena where there is no escape until you die.
Yeah, there we go.
That's fair. And it would have to be, and here's the thing. It would have to be on whatever spells we currently have now, because I can cherry pick different things too to make sure I don't lose.
Yeah, I think it's also like if you did a battle royale now versus like a one shot or two down the road where you're like level 12 or 13, it's going to look completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Like-
for sure.
We're
Like-
level 19 when Vondo gets angelic wings. It's true, I do. I get wings.
Or level 19 or 20 whenever Zal can just constantly shape shift into things and never die.
A level 20 druid's a little rough.
Level 20 druid, I never, ever, ever want to try and plan an encounter around. Ever.
Oh, that's funny.
I'll be a celestial this round. Oh, my hit points are 0. I'll be an ancient gold dragon. Oh, my hit points are 0. Okay, I'll be a kraken. Oh, my hit points are 0. Okay, I'll be this, and then maybe I'll die.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, and I thought being a level 20 paladin was a bitch to try to plan for.
Dude, yeah, 20 is not fun. Like that's what I found from watching some of the one shots from the Vox Machina campaigns. Like it's just boring. Like you just have
Mhm.
gigantic things that you try and throw at them that just do big gigantic things, and that's it. Like I don't know. You could brute force everything once you get to a level, and it's just like, oh, I have all these cool powerful spells, and I'm basically a god. So the
Yeah.
lower level
Warlock.
stuff, like where
Nobody
we
wants to
ended, was pretty legit. What'd you say?
Nobody wants God mode. Like that's
No.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, because I've seen
That
some of those
is,
too on Critical Role where they have, like, okay, I get 16 D8 damage. I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
What
Your
do you, like-
AC is already 25, but you're facing everything that rolls plus 18 on any attack. Like,
Right.
okay,
yeah.
this doesn't make sense.
Mm-mm.
But like this, I mean, there's still fun stuff. So if you ever watch like the Search for Grog or the Search for Bob, both of those one shots.
Oh, they're
are,
still
like,
entertaining as hell.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's because they're professionals, but it's just like
Right.
once it gets into the actual battles, it's just like, fuck, this is boring. Like, let's just get back to the drama of things. But
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
more, their
No, that-
side quests are more entertaining than the actual thing that they're doing.
yeah. I still think my favorite one shot of all time, and I sent this to you, Matt, a little bit ago, was the Darrington Brigade one. It's funny as hell, dude. It is so funny. I don't know if anybody else has watched that, or I listened to it. Oh my god, it is so funny. Funniest iteration of characters, just completely brand new characters off the cuff. Just a hilarious troop of adventurers. It's hilarious. You should watch it or listen to it. Either one.
I haven't seen it.
Absolutely take the time to watch it.
Is it
It
a
is
podcast?
hilarious. It's
Where-
one shot from the Critical Role group. So there's a character named Tyrion Darrington that came in the middle of Vox Machina that like wanted to be an adventurer, and it's about him going off and starting his own adventuring brigade, and it's just with a bunch of random people. Like they make up the brand new characters. I think Travis's character's name's Macaroni Samsonite, and he's a gnome who talks like this the entire, and it's fucking hilarious. But yeah, you got to listen to it. It's funny as hell. It's just a one shot on the Critical Role. But anywho, you got to watch it. But that's like one of the better ones. But like the high end shit, like going back to the whole point, like where we ended, like was peak. Like you got powerful. You got to see powerful shit. Like you get to do some stuff. Probably could have maybe gone a couple more levels, but this was kind of natural ending point for it, I think, because I tossed a wish spell your way and you used it wisely. So we probably could have gone a lot longer if that didn't happen. But
Oh, probably.
I fell in love with that story. So and wanted to include it. But I have plans for the next campaign, which will be different and fun, and I'm already super excited for what I've heard about characters that I've been informed of. So it's going to be a lot of fun. This next campaign is going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be entertaining.
Hell yeah!
Not to shit on the specter of the Salty Six that we have right now.
So how are we doing this rolling thing?
Do you want to do it right now?
I mean, fuck it. Why not?
I mean, fuck it. Why not? All right. Fuck it. Why not? Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
I'm
you
not
have.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let you guys do your thing. I gotta get some stuff done.
All right.
Love you guys.
Yeah, I do.
GGs.